What's going on?
What's going on, boss?
It's Table Titans Day. We got a big show tonight.
Yeah, definitely with the people we have on with the shit that was talked last week, putting it lightly. Yeah, great matchups and got a couple of flip sides of some matchup coins coming and chatting with us this week. So
Absolutely.
yeah, how's news been? How's things leading? We're a month out. It's got to be heating up in your world.
Listen, man, it's almost go time. For us, wheels are in motion. The fight card's done. At this stage, it's just tickets came in. So a lot of fighters been asking for physical tickets. They've been online for a little bit over a week now, but physical tickets are in. So DM me. I can mail you out some tickets so you can get tickets in hand. I'll be doing that tonight and tomorrow, so fighters will have physical tickets. But yeah, man, it's just this next week is getting physical tickets out to fighters. Then the following week, it's getting medicals done. So yeah, man, we're the engine's moving, so to speak.
Chugga chugga choo choo.
Let's go. And then last week was cool. We had all the guys on there. We had Casey Norton. The party ended up crashing in, and he called in, which is always a fun time. And then we also had Johnny Cupcakes. But we thought it'd be a great episode to let everybody kind of rebuttal, so to speak, that didn't get to speak last week. So we have Isaiah Torres on right now. Actually, I'm going to bring him in 1 minute. I know he's 2 hours behind, so he's smack dab in the middle of his training. So we're going to try to keep it quick with him. Then we have Jay Perrin calling in, and then we have the OG champ, Kenny Champion. So without further ado, we'll bring the man in. The champ, what's going on, brother?
What up? How are you guys?
Doing great, champ. How you doing?
Good. Just getting ready to train. Just got up here in Springs with Coach Jeremy and a couple of the boys.
Nice. How's the fight camp going? Obviously a little shake-up, which we'll get into in a minute, but you're training with a teammate that's also coming up to New England. What's that vibe like over at the gym?
So it's always good having other teammates get on the card, have someone kind of suffer with you. But yeah, camp's been going good. Kind of changing fighting styles from different opponents, but other than that, just ready to go.
Absolutely. You mentioned changing fighting styles a little bit. Let's kind of go back another week or so. When we had to make this switch, what was your initial thought, and then what's your kind of thought afterwards when it ended up being landed on Casey Norton?
So when it first happened, kind of frustrated, obviously. I wanted to take that number one pound for pound from Valdina. He was coming down for the 25-pound bout. I was kind of going after to take that top spot pound for pound from him. But getting against Casey, he's another top guy from over there. You guys have had him. He beat Joe too. So he's just another big name, another obstacle I got to overcome, but I'm just ready to go out and do that.
Yeah, I don't think that a title defense of this magnitude is going to hurt your pound for pound status whatsoever. I think it's, commendable that you're taking a defense regardless, and you guys are the only guys to beat Joe Poirier, and I think it's a captivating matchup in and of itself. So, with that aside, what's the biggest contrast that you see opponent-wise? Because I do think stylistically, it's quite a difference, but love that you're taking it head on.
So the difference is, I think if I was going into the Valdina fight, I think Valdina was going to point fight a lot. He's going to shoot a lot, stay on the outside. With Casey, I think he's more willing to stay in the middle, kind of bring the action. So I think it's going to be a little more action-packed. With Valdina out, I'd have been trying to chase down, having to cut off, more tactical approach. But I like this Casey matchup a lot better because what he likes to do is walk forward, put a lot of pressure, and he's just exciting from start to finish. And one thing about him and Joe, I think my finish was a little cooler anyway. So.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten a chance to challenge you face-to-face, voice-to-voice. That was honestly like one of the craziest submissions I've seen in almost 10 years of calling the action cage side. That was lightning fast, and haven't gotten the chance to give you vocal accolades quite like this? Like, what was that like? Take us back to that moment of winning the championship and really storming over the hometown crowd of Joe Poirier.
So like leading up, he had kind of said that he was better than me everywhere. I literally right as soon as we started striking, he was shooting right away. It's kind of just staying calm. I started knowing when he had my back that he was using a lot of energy. And then when going to the finish, I was honestly just trying to create space to be able to stand back up and strike with him a little bit more. But he kind of like dove right back into it. So that's what made it so quick, is that he kind of dove into it.
So like an incidental bait into the triangle.
Yeah, I
And you
should
just went with
create
it.
space and I'll throw it up to try to be able to create a scramble to get up. I know that he was fading pretty hard, but creating that space to just let both my legs go. And he kind of pretty much fell right into it. And then securing it, tipping him over, creating that angle. I was going to try to end up going on top, but he tapped before I even had an opportunity to progress that choke.
Well, in the lead up, obviously it's not the matchup that we initially planned with the Valdina. You kind of had a little bit of fun talk, being like, hey, let's see if you shoot, how quick it takes you to shoot. Any playful banter with Norton that going into this one? I mean, you have a common opponent. Anything playful there?
Same thing with Norton. I seen him last week saying he'll kind of go wherever he wants. I'm sure as soon as we strike, I'm not Poirier. I'm not going to get dropped in the first punch. I'm not throwing lazy punches like that. So we'll see how long he wants to stay in the technical battle standing, and I'm sure it's not going to be long. And like the rest, he's going to try to hold me against the cage, try to wear on me. But all of his fights, he hasn't fought long. He hasn't had to dig deep. I know he said he wanted to try to get there. Everybody wants to try to get there till they're in there with me, until they're getting the pressure, they're getting my striking in their face. And that's just what I'm going to bring to him. So we'll see. He said he'll strike. He said he'll wrestle. He said he'll do everything, but I'm sure his main game plan is just to wrestle right away.
Nice. Well, I don't want to keep you too long because I know you do have training. And I do appreciate you kind of putting training on hold. Anything last things from you, Andy, so we can let him run and not hold on to him too long?
No question, nothing question-wise. Just excited to host you back at Memorial Hall for your first title defense. It was a remarkable performance, and just welcome to the Wall of Champions at Cage Titans. And yeah, I like this matchup for many different reasons, equally as much as the original one. So yeah, I think Norton versus Torres is a great flyweight matchup. So yeah, nothing question-wise from me. Just looking forward to seeing y'all back here again.
Right on. I appreciate it. And I thought Valdina's nose was all messed up. I seen him training. I don't know how that's possible, but it's kind of crazy. But I thought his nose was pretty destroyed and he couldn't really do nothing with it. But it seems like he's training. But anyways, I'll see Casey, and it'll be another performance like I did on the last one. And hopefully I knock him out even faster.
There you go. Maybe setting yourself up for back-to-back fights, title defenses, trying to keep that fire still stoked with Valdina. Even though you got Casey, I like where your mind's thinking. It's kind of in line with what you said to me when we found out Valdina pulled out. You're like, listen, I want to stay active, and we love to keep the fighters active if you're willing and able. We'll keep lining up the bodies for you, and you keep doing your job, and the sky's the limit for you, my man. So thanks for joining us, champ.
Right on. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, have a good one.
Later.
Right. There we go. The champ himself.
In quick, but not mincing any words either. I think that he kind of like set himself up for the year, if you will, with the way he was wording all of his points. So I think he's dead focused on Norton. And after chatting with Casey Norton last week, he's just as hungry and focused to get that title. So yeah, I love the matchup even more. That's a great thing about Table Titans. Just little tidbits of insight to see where everybody's at and how stoked they are to actually get in there. And yeah, this one is a title fight where They're both very familiar to the Cage Titans crowd because of their common opponent, but they still haven't really reached into the mainstream, if you will. So I think that this fight against each other is a great showing for both of them to really just elevate their stance amongst the casuals at Cage Titans.
Yeah, and I think that with such a great performance he had against Poirier, come back with another strong performance just kind of elevates his stature. 8-3 right now. A big title defense, 9-3. He's already kind of laying those pins up with maybe a Valdina when Valdina's ready to return or whatever else is next. I mean, Plymouth has shown that though you may not be the hometown guy, though you may not sell the most amount of tickets, if you come in and perform, the fans react and they respond in great ways. So I'm pretty excited for this matchup. I'm happy that this fight, Isaiah, the champ, stays on the card. I think it also shows a commitment to our fighters and especially out of state champs. Like, I've seen a lot of promotions crown out of state champs and then they just kind of take the belt and they just ice them on the sidelines. It's like, listen, man, you're a champ for our organization, no matter where you're from. We're going to have you. And if you're fighting a hometown guy and the hometown guy falls off, we're still going to have you fight. Like you're our champ, you're representing our organization. So I think this is a great, great kind of proof of that and something that I'm proud of. The easy solution was lights off. Let's move on.
How many title defenses did the party have?
Yeah, definitely. Also, speaking of the party, I don't know if you can see Jay in the queue, but
I cannot.
You cannot see the queue, but we got Jay and he's looking dapper. We're rocking the hoodies, and he's got the fancy jacket on. So I'm excited to bring the Joker in. The party crashed Table Titans last week, and he jumped on, had some strong words, and Jay was like, I knew Jay wouldn't take long to kind of hit me up. He was in the DMs the next day, but I'm pumped to have Jay in. So without further ado, the Joker himself.
What's up, boys? How we doing?
What's going on, Jay Perrin?
Evening. You know what I mean? Another day.
What do you got? What do you got for the jacket?
Oh, it's an anime nerdy jacket.
Got a scally cap going on there?
Huh?
Got a scally cap going on there?
This is my grandfather's cap.
I love it.
I wear it when I coach. It's my coaching hat. You know what I mean? That's what I'm teaching. It gets me.
All right. And then what is that?
It makes me feel like Mick.
All right.
You know what I mean? A little bit. So I get into the mindset a little bit, so.
Is that a one-piece jacket?
It is 100%. Wow. It's a white beer jacket, and I'm very proud of you for that. Yeah, and I'm real proud of you for pulling that out.
I have not watched the anime, but I have watched the live action on Netflix.
You know what? Not bad as far as those go. So, you know what I mean? That's pretty good. I'm impressed.
There you go. The clown head that was floating around the body, that stuff.
That's Buggy. He's dope. Anyway.
Anywho, obviously got a cute. I know that you're told me time and time again, until the cage door closes, in your mind, this fight's not happening until the cage door closes. But, a lot of years of going back and forth, how excited or not excited, or where are you at mentally that this day is on the calendar, it's inked, and it seems like it's going to happen. I know you don't want to admit it yet.
Again, you know what I mean? I'm just going off of his track record, you know what I mean, of saying he'll be somewhere and then not being there. You know what I mean? We have a recent example of him saying that he'd be somewhere and then he wouldn't be. So, you know what I mean? But under the basis that I'm so excited, man. You know what I mean? I walk in every day, just a smile on my face because I finally get to hit him. You know what I mean? That's what I think about every day. I finally just get to punch you in your fucking nose. That's it. And I don't care what he has to say about me or whatever, because at the end of the day, I'm going to break his nose. So, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about it, really, is that it's just finally, dude, shut the fuck up and get in the cage, brother. It's hurry up and wait for me. I've been waiting for this for 5 years, So I feel great. I'm ecstatic, bro. I'm in here 7 days a week. There's literally days where I've forgotten how long it's been since I've taken a rest day. So I'm very, 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 very involved in this fight camp.
Very, very good to hear.
you're not unfamiliar with grudge type matchups throughout your career, Cage Titans.
Fair.
Certainly an element of the psychology behind the fight game at certain points. Where does this rank in terms of like the grudge matches of Jay Perrin's Cage Titan tenure?
So it's definitely my biggest one to date, for sure, to deny that Joe and I haven't had this, symbiotic relationship that he's, become kind of a parasite attached to my name for the last 5 years. Would be silly. It's clearly the biggest one as far as like recognition. Me and Johnny was pretty big. I would say this probably surpasses that a little bit. Woo! Kicked down my camera. But as far as like, so there was a time, it's so funny how time passes, because there was like a time where while I didn't really like the party ever, there was a time where I thought he was a legitimate contender and I gave him his flowers. In fact, he always talks about me having like this big ego or whatever, but every time he's done well or done something correct, I always give credit where credit was due. When he fought Duma, I was the first person to give him credit. There was a time back then when I might have been like, oh, this guy might be something to worry about. And that's just not the case anymore, because I've gotten better over time and he's gotten worse over time. And that's just a statistical fact. You can look at the numbers in our last 12 fights and see what our records look like and see who's declined and who hasn't, I think that this fight is very much about ego for him and not about skill, because we all know that he's not as good as me. He knows he's not as good as me. That's why he's begging for my attention on these podcasts. That's why he's asking podcasters all around New England to beg for me to get on so he can rile himself up, because that's what Joe needs. Joe needs to have his ego stroked in order to hype himself up to get into a fight. I don't need that shit, brother. We can just throw the ones in the fucking rain outside if you want to, because this is just what we do. So there's a lot of things I think about Joe, but like respect has gone out the window. I'm not afraid of this man. There's nothing about this person that threatens me in any regard. He's just beyond all the boastering and the loudness and the nobody likes you, which is the fucking most 13-year-old argument I've ever heard out of a 40-year-old man. Beyond all of that, he's just a guy that can take a good punch in his face. And at the end of the day, I've proven time and time again against guys that are just good at getting punched in the face that they need fucking more. And Joe's going to need a hell of a lot more. And from what I saw against Randy when he gassed out during 2-minute rounds, it's not going to take me very long to bury the hatchet in this at all. So to answer your question, I don't feel fucking much for Joe. That's why I can't be bothered to give him my attention.
Damn.
By the way, who the fuck is inarticulate now? Try and complete a whole sentence without stumbling over yourself before you talk about anybody. Orating is what that means, speaking, Joe, if you didn't know, because I know that you're watching. Orating means speaking. That's something that somebody that's articulate would know, right? Okay. And by the way, when we're talking about egos, Joe, think about the ego it must take to call into a podcast unscheduled, to take away time from other people that schedule time out of their training camps to talk about yourself and complain about me for 45 minutes, and then have the audacity while you're in the middle of doing all that, say that I have the ego. And then at the end of it, you blew a kiss at me, which is getting weird because you keep doing that. So fucking stop, dude. At the end of the day, we're going to fight. I don't need to give you another scrap of my time. The only reason I'm here is because I know you're begging for it, bro. You're begging for it.
We're gonna turn this into the table Jay Perrin today.
That's it, I'm done. We can ask questions now. That's fine. I know Joe's watching. He'll probably call in and bitch about it later. It's fine.
No, honestly, Andy had a great question, because I was gonna, when I look at a fight, and Andy and I were talking off camera today, like you look back over the history of Cage Titans, some like grudge matches. When you look at Giannetti and Barrett, you and Cupcakes.
That's the biggest one ever. Period. Yeah. Bar none ever. It's not even close.
You and Cupcakes comes to mind. Mm-hmm. Like, this is another one where this isn't manufactured hate.
No, we don't like each other. We're not going to shake hands after. I have no intention of shaking this person's hand after.
I didn't think so.
None. We're not gonna, and that's okay to acknowledge, bro. We're not all supposed to get along. I'm not gonna flip him off or be belligerent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done my part. I'm gonna beat him up like I said I was gonna do, and then I'm gonna leave him back in Florida. Have a nice flight. Never mention my name again. That's really it. Again, Joe thinks he's more important to me than he is. Again, he's just another guy. At the beginning of this beef, it started because he had a belt. I was clearly the one in line for that belt, and he started dick dancing around it. Now we're at 45. We're 5 years removed, and he still thinks that I'm living in high school, and I'm not. I'm there to whoop your ass and take your money and then send you back home. That's it.
I'm curious, and I don't remember where this started. Because you held the belt, then you went off to the UFC, then he won the belt. Was that like? Did you even have him in your mind, or like
No?
What was really the
there was
initial...
some kind of comment that was made about me, and then it started as like barbs online, and then and then obviously it's been about me since I've been back. I think he still had the belt when I was back because he didn't defend it. He just held it for quite a while. If I'm honest,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure me and you had plenty of conversations of like, all right, man, when is he going to defend that belt that he got 2 years ago? And then after that, I got back, and it intensified because I remember this started because it was me, Johnny, and then Dan Dubuque, that fucking schmuck. We're all in like this kind of three-way, who's going to get the 35 title. And then the party introduced himself and started talking shit to everybody. And I honestly think it's just two strong personalities that clashed that never stopped. That's really, at the end of it, that turned over a while. The beef just became what it is. And I at the end of the day, I think that Joe and I are just opposites. There'll never be a time where, like, we can be civil. Me and Johnny are civil. Me and Johnny are best friends, but I have a lot of respect for Johnny. You know what I mean? I think he's a pioneer of New England MMA. I have no bad intention to Johnny. I don't think that's going to be the case with me and Joe. I think me and Joe are just going to not like each other. And I'm cool with that, man. I got enough friends. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I guess maybe not, because apparently all of them are calling his phone directly to tell him that they're going to beat me, that, oh, God, please beat Jay up, which is a wild, wild thing to say at such an age. But anyway.
Well, thank you for kind of bringing us down memory lane, because I know that you guys had such a heated rivalry, and I'm thinking about it in my head. I'm like, what was kind of the start of it? And I do remember he was out fighting at like Game Bread and things like that, so we were kind of in limbo. You were coming back from the UFC, so I do remember some of that.
It's
bad
been so
blood.
much, dude. It's been so much over time. There's been so many instances of it that, like, it's like, I'm surprised. Like I said, there's no reason why I'm still like, dude, I think in a week he's going to be like, well, and do some shit or get an offer somewhere for whatever the fuck ever. So that's why there's like a reason. It's not like no evidence to support. We still have emails from fucking 4 years ago about him dicking around. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, the proof's in the pudding. There's been so many instances of this person just not being a man of their word. And I think that part bugs me the most, is that just say it and mean it.
Yeah.
Just if you're going to say you're going to fight me, then fight me. Don't waste my time too. You know what I mean? Like, you wasted my time, bro. How many camps did I get fucking ready for you? So now I get to put all of that into my fists and shove it down his throat in 3 weeks. It's going to be, oh my God. Oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. God.
So let me you cut
Keep
an
his mouth guard
unbelievable.
in. Get a new mouth guard, Joe. So we don't get any confusion. You know what I mean? So
bring one to the press conference. Bring one to the press conference for him.
Say that one more time? I'm sorry.
I said bring one to the press conference.
I'll bring a fitted one. Here you go. You know what I mean? Go ahead, whatever you need.
Obviously you don't have a ton of nice things to say about Joe, but is there anything that stands out in his game? I know you think that he's deteriorated a little bit, but like, is there anything, positive that you see that he brings to the table in this matchup with you?
Joe is awkward timing. But I'll be completely objective with you, because again, I can give credit where credit is due. Joe is awkward to time. He stands weird. Like his stance, like for the the Muay Thai, he was never meant for that because he stands too square, he's too wide, and he shifts. You know, he for MMA he shifts between stances pretty well. Other than throwing meat hawks from his waist all the time, he does have some impressive footwork when he actually can do it. Now, is it going to be enough? Absolutely not. And I'm going to fucking pig him in his nose every time he tries to do it. But I will say that in the past, he has gotten the better of people with those looping hooks. And on those looping hooks, he tends to switch stances. And he gets the angle on people. And whether or not, he follows it up is a totally different stance. But he can get to the side. He's proven that before. Now, that was when he was like 35 and not just taking ass whoopings for 4 straight years. But in past, he has been very good on being light on his feet and awkward to time. So it's very much you have to be in his face the whole time. You have to put him on his back foot, which I have no problem doing, and just keep it simple. You know what I mean? You don't have to. The thing about Joe is that he tries to be like a snake charmer and make you reinvent the wheel. And look what Valdina did. Valdina beat him with lead hooks and twos and kept him at range, and he fucking froze for 25 minutes. So I really don't expect much more from Joe. He's gonna bite on every feint that I throw. I'm gonna head kick him at least one time. It's fucking easy pie. You know what I mean? That's just easy breezy. Probably gonna do that at least once. Again, this isn't a battle of skill. This is a battle of ego. This is a spiritual battle. He can't beat me technically. That's just abundantly clear. And so he'll try and get me on these interviews to again, poke the bear at the ego, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to laugh at you. And again, take your money and then make sure this never comes up again. So again, his credit, footwork.
There you go.
He's got good footwork and he's awkward to time, but I'm really not. Nothing else about him is very there's nothing that he does that I have not seen 1,000 times. There's nothing, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh my God, I've had 23 fights and this is the first time. No, that's just not the case. So again, I don't know what he's talking about rocking me to sleep. You know what I mean? Or whatever. I got the notepads. There are other people that watched his interview and then gave me the kind of the cliff notes of the things that he said. He went into how old my opponents are, which is so weird because he's 40. So what are you saying? You know what I mean? If you're discrediting those other people? Anyway, throwing that out there. Also, he talked about tucking me to bed, bro. Your best win is Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse. He's still alive. You know what I mean? Come on, brother. I just don't want to hear this shit from this guy. Rocking me to bed, bro. You haven't gotten a knockout, I think, fucking one time. You have more decisions than I do. I have more finishes than you, Joe. I think that's I think that's an actual statistic. We could look it up right now. I think I have more finishes than you. So for you to say, I'm gonna rock you to sleep, bro, go fucking ice your head. All right? The dye is too strong in your hair. All right? Relax. Okay? Because you haven't rocked anybody to bed that wasn't fucking geriatric in however. And you can say whatever about Kenny Champion, but I'm pretty sure Kenny would knock you the fuck out too. So
I'm actually speaking of that, Andy. Are you on the stats? Are you looking them up?
I can. Should have been.
Why Andy looks it up, Jay? Speaking of Kenny Champion, and you mentioned Johnny Cupcakes earlier. They're throwing down for the OG title. Kenny's on right after you, probably in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Good guy, Kenny.
What? Give us a quick. You've commentated their fights. You've fought them both. You've gone to a decision with both, so you've had a lot of cage time and a lot of observation time. Give us a quick analysis on this fight.
So Kenny is the thing about Kenny that makes him dangerous is that he is improving. He started late, right? Obviously. The thing about Kenny and Johnny is that they both have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? That Kenny doesn't expect to go, and so he just throws with reckless. He hit me with, I don't even know what hand it was, but my whole left side went out. I couldn't see during one of the shots that Kenny hit me. He hits hard as hell, right? It's really hard to stay in exchanges with him and not kind of respect his power. The thing with Johnny is that his intensity, when he comes with the classic Cupcakes intensity, that thing that we've all grown to love. He's to me, I compare Johnny when he's at his most intense to when Mario gets the star. You know what I mean? He's invulnerable. You can't hit him. He never slows fucking down, and he's just gonna hit you with the sink. Quite literally, he'll pull back and pull a sink out and hit you with it. And I think that Johnny needs to kind of tap into that a little bit with Kenny, because when you put him on the back foot, Kenny he freezes up, right? So I think that it's a winnable fight for both of them. You know what I mean? If Kenny stays at range and uses that big power too, I think he can catch Johnny, because Johnny's had a billion fights, you know what I mean, over however many years he's been hit before. So I think that that's a thing. And I think that Johnny, if he comes in and is the bull, like, you know what I mean, back when I fought Johnny, he was an indestructible machine. And I think that there's still shades of that there. I think he could definitely take the title, being that OG Johnny.
Nice. All right. I love that analysis.
Yeah.
Great thing. I'm really looking forward to that matchup as well. You mentioned the years. Johnny fought at Cage Titans 15 years ago.
Dude, again, nothing
Crazy.
but
40th
huge respect
fight.
for the guy, bro. You know what I mean? You
41st
can't.
fight.
He walked so we could run. You know what I mean? Johnny has fought through like 3 generations of fighter. You know what I mean? Beware the old man in a sport where young men die. He's got 50-ish fights, 40-ish fights.
Well, this is his 41st fight as a pro, and then he had seven amateur.
So 50-ish fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's nothing to scoff at, amateur or. You know what I mean? His body of work speaks for itself. I think that Johnny's in a place where I'm at now. Like, I don't fight because, like, I think I'm going to get anywhere. I truly don't know. I don't think that maybe they'll call me ever again. So it's just like we do it because we love to do it. And I think that sometimes that can go either way. It can be I do it because I love it, and if I lose, I'm kind of okay with that. Or I do it because I love it, and that kind of sets me free from the expectation of, fighting safe. You get what I mean? Fighting safe not to lose instead of fighting freely as I, know that I can, because who gives a shit what happens after this, And I think that Johnny needs to decide which one he's at. You know what I mean? Which one he wants to be a little bit more. And again, I come from I want to see Johnny fucking have a crazy performance. Nothing against Kenny. You know what I mean? Nothing against Kenny. But, an old rival, you want to see him keep riding out with like a blaze of glory. Not Joe, but Johnny, for sure.
Well,
Joe can trip and knock his 2 fucking front teeth off for all I care. You know what I mean? I don't really care. But Johnny, I would like to see him come back to the vintage person that I know that it's still in there. You know what I mean? And I think that he can give us a few more and then ride off into the sunset, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you've given the community fucking everything. You know what I mean? So go out with a bang, baby. I want to see it.
There you go. Well, Jay, we'll let you run, and when you go, we'll break down the stats if Andy has them. Because if we keep
I
going,
have more finishes?
Does he have more?
You both have 2 knockouts.
That's fine. I still have more finishes. You can't rob me the bet. I have more finishes.
You got 4 submissions to his 2.
It's fine, dude. I've made my point. Like, the thing is about fighting with this type of person is that you can't actually bring real information to the table, because it's like an ideological battle. He just is choosing not to hear reason. So he'll just say stupid shit like I have a huge ego, and that like friends, you know what I mean? Like, those types of things are stupid and petty. Like, bro, we're professionals and we're grown-ups. Like, we're both over 30 years old. Why are you talking about your friends are calling me? Dude, anybody that calls you and is talking about wishing harm upon me is absolutely not my friend, and you can keep them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I said it and I mean it. I don't care if a single person outside me, Joe, and the fucking commission are in that building. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care who likes me, who respects me, bro. I'm done doing that. If people don't like me, I don't know what to tell you. That's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, sure. But I am still going to whoop your ass, regardless of whether they like me or not. So at the end of the day, you can keep the likes and the follows and the comments and the thumbs up, brother. A loss to me will stain your soul forever. So be ready in 3 weeks, because I've been quiet, but I haven't been lazy. So I'm going to fucking bring a revelation level reckoning to you in 3 weeks.
All right, Jay. Stay on, because I got a comment, but I'm not going to comment with you on, because then you're going to run and talk.
You're good. I'm out. I want to get out.
I already told Kenny to call in twice, 2 different times, because I was like, I got to let Jay cook. Jay's cooking. All right. No, Jay's cooking. I can't let you cook. But I'll leave you
Right.
on this, and I'm removing you from the camera. You and
Okay.
the party have more in common. You both use the same phrase. An old man where young guys, or whatever you guys said, you both said that comment. So you might have more in common than you
I
actually
didn't
think.
say we don't. We just ideologically don't agree. That's all. That's
All right, Jay. We'll see you in a few weeks, brother.
Later, boys.
Later. When he said that comment, I was trying so hard to be like, he said that last week. You guys are both saying the same thing. But I love
noticed that too.
You thought that too?
I noticed it. Yep.
But it's true. I mean, they're absolutely true. Like, look at this fight card to see, Jay's I think he's in his mid-30s. Johnny, 40. Kenny Champion, 45. The party, 40. It is amazing and a testament to these guys that they're still out there competing at this level and competitively at the top of these cards, in a young man's game, as the party mentioned last week. And then Perrin also mentioned this week in the same, almost identical quote. It is a young man's game, and these guys are still, kicking and punching and doing all the rest. All right.
Yeah, and I thought there was a great point, and there was a time where commentating with Jay and Johnny Cupcakes, and Johnny would be in the Cupcakes corner. There was a time where it's like, are we going to be able to have them work together, because the rivalry was so dense, and just to kind of like see the shift generationally, be alongside it in real time, and see where they're at, respecting each other now, mutually. I thought it was just kind of fascinating tidbit to see where they're all right. Where they are right there from each other's perspectives in over that conversation there. And
listen, the Perrin versus Cupcakes fight, when that happened, that was
the grudge match.
That was, I mean, I know we tipped the cap to the biggest rivalry, Barrett and Giannetti, but
we didn't think that rivalry was possible at that time. Therefore, Cupcakes and Perrin was the grudge match of grudge match before,
and
Giannetti and Barrett came to fruition.
Yeah, they both leaned into it too.
That was heated.
It was pretty heated, and there was a lot of, so like, this one's another good one. One of my buddies.
I think people forget how heated that was, especially knowing like where they're at now.
There was memes and all kinds of crazy stuff with that fight. They did not like each other, and it is cool to see them kind of grow and mature as fighters, and now wear commentary boots together and be part of the Cage Ties community together. So somebody asked me if I'm going to get Valdina to call in. I'm sorry, Val. I blew it. Valdina texted me and said if I'm going to get the party to call in. I definitely fraudulent slip there, but I released my source. I wasn't going to say the source, but he asked me if I was going to get the party to call in. We did make a deal with Perrin that we're not going to do face-to-face podcast. When you got the first time they'll get face-to-face is at the press conference on fight week. We're going to do a primetime press conference at night. We're still determining the location in downtown Plymouth where they will both be at the press conference, and that will be their first face-to-face verbal sparring match, so to speak. So that will be.
We're just going to have them. That's all we need for the press conference, really.
Man, we're going to have Isaiah. We'll have Wonder Bread. We'll have Kenny and Cupcakes. But yeah, we did talk. And Jay was like, "Listen, I'll go on the podcast myself, but like let's just save that for fight week, and we respect that." So. It would be cool, but I think that just adds a little bit extra oomph when we get them together on press conference day. I'm waiting for Kenny. I know he's training. I already had to tell him to bump back a little bit. Let me see if he's ready right now. But John O'Connell, excellent card to end the year. Dan Atkins, great card. Looking forward to it. Man, a lot of good fights. But either way, without further ado, we got the OG, young OG, as we've been calling him in the lead up. Kenny Champion, what's going on, my friend?
What's going on? What's going on? How you feeling today, man? How y'all feeling today?
There's air in my lungs. I'm feeling good, my man.
I swear.
Feeling great myself as well, man.
So, repping the 49ers, huh?
That's it, man. Since the third grade.
Nice. Well, hey, man, you had a little bit of time off since your last fight. Actually, it was against Jay Perrin, who we just had on. This Johnny Cupcakes fight was a fight that we had scheduled before. We're able to put it back together. What are you looking forward to in this matchup against, an OG as well, and Johnny Cupcakes, who's been around fighting professionally the last 15 years here in New England?
I'm looking for the same intensity for him to come out there, swinging like he normally does. I'm looking for the old Johnny Cupcake Campbell. Again, I'm grateful to be able to compete against these guys, the likes of Johnny Cupcake Campbell and the Jay Parents of Cage Titans, because again, these are the guys that I've been watching as an amateur and coming up in my career. So I'm grateful to be at this height of my career and be able to compete against these Titans in the cage. So yeah.
Listen, man, we've been watching you as well, so don't cut yourself short. Amateur champ, OG champ, like you've been around the block myself, my man. So you're a Titan just as well.
Thank you.
I always bring this up, and then I'm going to let Andy get the next question because I always love to bring this up. How proud you are of your accomplishments and how well your community has opened their arms to you. I've seen pictures every time you win the belt, you're bringing it back to the barbershops and all the places down in the neighborhood. Like I just want to first shout out your support system and just really commend you on doing that. And I love seeing how you bring that to the community and how you uplift them with those belts. So wanted to kind of, give you some accolades for that and also kind of talk about for yourself, like how special is that to be able to do that for your community?
Well, I feel it's real special because and for a lot of people that know me from my past and how I came up, what I came from and went through, and then for them to see me now at this stage of my life, becoming a professional athlete, and not only becoming a professional athlete but doing well at it, able to get titles and bring them back to the community, and also let them know that it's not it's you can do other things. People think it's just regular basketball or football that you can do in the community, become a professional athlete or to get out of the neighborhood. And there's other things. There's people out there that I inspire that I don't even know. But it's always a great feeling. Somebody just messaged me the other day and told me that they started late in their career, and if it wasn't for a conversation me and this gentleman he probably wouldn't even competed. So things like that really make me feel that I'm doing something for the better, and it's not about me. It's really not about me. I'm just following a journey in the path of my life.
No, man.
That's what
honestly, every time I talk to you, I want to make sure, though we might feel like I've asked you this question, you've answered that question to me. There's new people watching every day. So I every time I have you on, I want to make sure we set aside a few minutes to kind of talk about that, because I think it's an important.
And also I love to be able to represent the Cage Titans name, the Cage Titans brand, as being a professional mixed martial artist and going out there. You know what I'm saying? So that makes me feel it makes me feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? Every time I go out there and compete in that cage, you know what I'm saying? I'm part of that group, a part of that society. You know what I'm saying? That's what it makes me feel. And then able to bring it back to my community and a whole, I'm doing something good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And hats off to you for all your accomplishments. And I think long after your days, which at your rate, you're going to be competing forever, but long after you're competing, when you're done competing, we'll remember, your legend will live on, and your story of how important this is and what you've done, it will inspire many others. So thank you really from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do. We really appreciate having you. I'm going to turn it over to Andy. Andy's got a question for you. I cut him off because I wanted to get that in there, but go ahead, Andy. What's up, my man?
Andy's the man. What up, Andy?
What's good, Kenny Champion? The young
Cool.
OG.
So hold up. I was just sitting here watching because the last time y'all had me on the interview, you had a dog in the background. The dog was going crazy. So now I see Jay Perrin on the interview. Now I see a cat walking across the bottom of the back of the couch. So I'm like, my man he got all types of animals in the house, man. You're an animal lover. I like that, man.
Well, I've had my cat for many, many years. This is Samantha L. Jackson. She's a bad motherfucker. I've had her for many, many years. You see, she's swatting at him now. Hey, chill.
Right.
He's the new one actually. But I'm actually at a point right now where they're both sitting on the same couch, and there's no jihad breaking out right now between them. So
that's family right there, man.
Yeah, well, they're getting there. He's smartening up. He's still a pup, but he's getting there. But yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, definitely a man who loves his animals. But now I forgot the question. No, it's just kind of piggybacking off of Paul Ver, because I'm always intrigued to hear that story from back when you won the amateur title and when you came back and won the AOG title and are on the professional run that you're on now at this stage in the game. And you and I have had many conversations over the years. How you started late in the game and just kind of
started at 36 years old.
Yeah, exactly. It's
started at 36 years old, and honestly, this was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening in my life right now, leading up to this point, is supposed to be happening. So I'm just following my journey, following my path. At 36 years young, I started doing mixed martial arts. I picked it up, and in the 6th year of me doing it, I made it to Bellator. That is amazing in itself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it's something nobody can take from me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm competing at the highest level at this age. I just competed with one of the best guys in Jay Perrin. I still love that guy. I'm still a fan of that guy, Jay Perrin. And I love the way he talk his shit, because if nobody don't talk shit for you, who gonna do it? You the only person that's gonna do it for yourself. If nobody don't believe in you, it's gonna be you that's gonna do it. So if you ain't doing it, who else? You know what I'm saying? So I like those type of guys, man. They push me to the next level to be the best version of myself every time I get in there and compete.
Yeah, that's one thing I loved about, you when you competed. We talked about it going into the OG title fight. You were like, listen, yeah, I'll fight for the OG title, but listen, man, I want to compete with the best. And you ran right back. You competed against Jay Perrin. Here you are competing against former title holder Johnny Cupcakes, who has 40 professional fights under his belt. Like, make no mistake about this. This isn't, a bucket list type, hey, older guy getting into it, give him some fun fights and let him run into the sunset. You're competing against the best of the best here up in New England.
Since the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why I think that this is truly a legacy fight for two different perspectives. As we've mentioned before, Johnny Cupcakes, he fought at Cage Titans 1 and has, been fighting in his backyard of Plymouth. But this is kind of a testament to the phrase, we are Cage Titans. It doesn't matter where you are in New England. When you fight under this cage, you're given the equal platform to succeed. And there's no barrier whatsoever. There's no favoritism whatsoever, because when it comes to OGs, you guys are both OGs for different reasons, with Johnny Cupcakes being here since the very beginning and you starting so late and then accomplishing what you did through this platform. So yeah, it's just wanted to kind of put my 2 cents on that, of how much of a legacy fight this truly is, and a lot of that's on your own accord.
And I love it. I love it. I love the crowd. There's no crowd out there like Cage Titans. There's no show set up like Cage Titans. Cage Titans is the best show in New England. To compete against Johnny Cupcake Campbell, this is going to be, like you said, a legendary fight. This is going to be a legendary fight between me and Johnny Cupcake Campbell, and I'm looking for him to bring out his best because um, I'm looking to bring out my best every time. When I went out there against Jay Perrin, I wanted to bring my best. When I come out this time, I'm going to bring my best. And that's all it is. It's just an opportunity for me to show how good I am each time. Each time I go out there and go compete. So I'm loving it, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. Everything in my life right now is lining up with it with my purpose. Everything is lining up with my purpose, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the ride.
We enjoy having you. I know you're in your car, probably either heading home from training, so we don't want to keep you too long. We had the nice Black Beast type celebration. Is that here to stay? Assuming you get the victory, do we have a different celebration? Do you even think of that stuff, or you just go with it in the moment?
I'm gonna just go with it in the moment, man.
All right.
I'm gonna go with it in the moment. I'm gonna go out there and have fun. When it happens, it's gonna happen.
Absolutely. Well, some people say the true champion is when you defend your title. We look forward to you to defending your title on November 15th. Last words from you before we let you run.
I just want to thank Cage Titans. I want to thank all the fans. I want to thank my coaches, my teammates. Those are my family here at Underdog Mixed Martial Arts, and I want to shout out my friends and family, all my supporters that continue support me throughout my journey through the sport. So yeah, that's it, man. All positivity, man. That's it.
All right, my man. Well, thank you so much. Drive safe, and we'll see you in a few weeks on November 15th.
November 15th. Let's get it.
Let's get it. The young OG Kenny Champion in the house. I'm definitely looking forward to him and Johnny Cupcakes. I think this is going to be a fight. Like you said, I like how you said that, Andy. A legacy fight.
Yeah, and again, it's as fitting for the OG belt as it can be. Excuse me, buddy. Can you sit? For different reasons, you just trace their career maps back, and they both fit the definition of OG to a T from different perspectives. And I think it's just truly fitting that this fight has been remade to take place to close out 2025, which has been a monumental year in and of itself. And to close it out with a OG belt like this, I think is pivotal for this card. A lot of respect for both guys. It's no secret they've both been on Table Titans explaining everything to the masses plenty of times before. Neither is shy for words, and neither is shy to perform as a mixed martial artist. So we're really in for a treat in this element of the new stage of Cage Titans, where we have a talent pool suited for the credible OG belt. And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
No, definitely. And there's already people lining up for it. Even Greg Jones is making his return in January, and he's hoping to bang out a win and try to reclaim it. I've had people from all over the country. Hey, what does it take to be the OG? Like, is there other weight classes? So it's definitely something fun. Listen, this is kind of what we're about at Cage Titans. We're a fan and fighter organization, and there are guys who their ultimate goals will be the UFC, and there might be some guys that are one and dones or a few fun fights and done or whatever it is. Like we're going to give everybody a stage, and we're going to treat everybody equally, and we're going to have fun doing it, and we're sure as hell going to be there to capture it and make sure it gets out to the public. That's one thing that I feel we do better than anybody is I've said it from every fighter meeting. We'll set the stage for you. What you do with it is on you. But I sure as shit will be there with multiple cameras to capture it so that we can get it out to the masses. So that I think really in a nutshell, that's what we do best, is setting the stage, letting our fighters be who they are, and capturing every moment that we can. There's no shortage of cameras, video crews, whatever, to get all that stuff. I think that's what we do. The party
authenticity.
Yeah, and Party said it before. He's like, you were the first promotion. I've always been the party, but like everybody tried to clip my wings and like never let me be who I was. And you were the first one that like encouraged.
Oh, you can't say that. You can't do that. You can't like smoke a joint on. You can't be yourself. It's like, nah, it's just be you. You're going in there to beat it. Like you're there. The reason the government is involved in our sport is because it's illegal to punch someone in the head. You have to make variations and variances in the laws of the country in order to perform in our sport. Why is someone being put in some sort of verbal restriction when violence is our business? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Well, Dana White said it before. That's what I was going to about say before. You basically said exactly. He's like, what are we going to do about somebody talking some shit or saying some bad stuff? He's like, we're in a business where we punch people. Like, yeah, I'm not really going to recruit. There a few times I will. I get a little, but for the most part, where I was waiting for Andy to be like, you got mad at me when I smoked on camera. How come you didn't say anything to Kenny Champion? Did you notice that?
I didn't even, but still,
that's one thing I still get a little cringy on when I see.
I know you do, and it's like
I know it's legal, but it's just like
Listen, I admire that you're a man of principle, but it's also part of the times too. Come on, this ain't it's propagandized against at the end of the day, but that's an argument for a different day. But
I know we're at 58 minutes, and I know your dog gets jumpy at an hour.
He's actually doing pretty good today, but my phone is at like 5%, so it's probably not going to make it too much longer.
Shout out to David Diaz. We got your son fighting again against Jack Noon. Looking forward to that fight. Next week, we will be back with Table Titans. We're going to get some guests lined up. It's really fun having these guests on, being able to talk and kind of get a little bit insight on who they are as people. That's really when we created Table Titans fucking 9 years ago. It was like, let's talk about stuff besides punches and kicks and takedowns. Like, talk about the people and get.
It often goes back to that, but
yeah.
But yeah, no, this is there's no restrictions on verbiage in the fight game, and that's one of the biggest reasons as to why it's my favorite. And I'm just kind of like, holy shit, my cat actually for the first time just like nose booped my dog's paw, and there was no violence, and I'm just amazed that just happened right there. So holy shit.
So all right, well, your phone's on 5%. We'll let you run. Thanks to everybody that called in today. Thanks for everybody for tuning in today. I will have I'm going to announce an announcement. All right. On Wednesday, me and the Cage Titans crew will all be together, and we're going to go special live with an announcement for you guys. Maybe 1 o'clock, 12 to 1 o'clock, somewhere in that.
Whenever the hell we're ready. All right. That's when it's going to happen. Or it's
just telling you this. Ring Titans 2 has been a hot topic since we pulled it off back in September, only not even a month. What is it, a little over a month ago? Everybody's like, when's the next one? When's the next one? Wednesday. Tune in to our social media. Be on the lookout. Me, the whole crew will all be together, and we will be doing a live as a group and announcing the next Ring Titans 2 event. It will be before the end of the year. That's the only tip I'm going to give you because we're friends. So there you go. Tune in on Wednesday. Be on the lookout for a special breaking news live on Wednesday regarding Ring Titans 2. As for Cage Titans 74, tickets are on sale now. Physical tickets are in. I picked them up today because of the shakeup in the main event. I had to reprint all the tickets with the updated poster. So they just got in on today, I should say. So I will be overnighting them to all the fighters. Ian Barrett, let's go. I know you probably already got the hint, so you know what's up. Don't spill it on us. But Ian Barrett will be there at Ring Titans 2 for sure. But physical tickets just came in today. I will be overnighting them tomorrow, so all fighters will have them in hands Wednesday. Do your fighters a favor. Get in touch with them and meet up with them early. Get your tickets ahead of time so they're not running around fight week. And that's all I got for you guys. Table Titans out.
Yeah, that's it. Tune in Wednesday. It's a motherfucker of an announcement. So yeah, this is going to be fun. It's fight month.
Fight month.
Let's go.